Luke 16, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. Jesus is here repeating Old Testament teaching that there is only one real way in life. Moses placed those choices very clearly before Israel. Life or death, and in the book of Proverbs you have the same. There are only two paths, the path to life or the path to death, the way of folly. Proverbs repeats then the idea that life is in one sense a constant flow of decisions, big ones, little ones, minute by minute, to choose this or that, to think about this or to think about that. To choose to play this music through our earphones or that music, to take that job or this job, to live in this way or in that way. When we're first baptized, we tend to agonize over these kind of choices and decisions. We wonder which choice is really God's will for us. But as we mature, I think we see more clearly that there is only one way, really, the way of Jesus. And we also perceive that there is no third road. As Jesus later puts it, we are either hot or cold. We cannot actually be lukewarm. And he wants us to realize that. He wants us to see that there are only these two choices before us. And once you realize there is no way of compromise, no third way, then we will choose the way of life with more enthusiasm. Here, Jesus puts it in terms of only serving one out of two possible masters. When Israel were in Egypt, Pharaoh was their master and they were slaves. But God told Pharaoh, "Let my people go, that they may serve me." And I suggest the emphasis is on the word me. Let them go that they may serve me. They had been servants of Pharaoh, but now they were to be servants of God. So Israel leaving Egypt, crossing through the Red Sea, Paul says, is a type, a symbol of our baptism into Christ. We've changed masters when we got baptized. We're not ultimately free, we are still servants, slaves, if you like, actually. But there is in every man a yearning for freedom, to do and be as we wish, without any of the ties that bind. But that is not possible for us now. We're slaves, either of the flesh, characterized here as money, or slaves of God. What Paul calls the glorious freedom of God's dear children, wonderful phrase, is yet to come when Jesus returns. Throughout eternity, we will in that sense enjoy radical freedom. One last thing. The service of the flesh of the world is characterized here as serving money or wealth. Now, our attitudes to wealth, to money, are a litmus indicator of our real spiritual state. If we want to be wealthy, we are in bondage to wealth. The service of Jesus makes us free from that endless bondage to wealth, that bondage to the idea of getting rich one day, which generally holds the whole world in servitude.